The time that everyone has been waiting for.
What time?
What are we doing this next year? We're at the end of 2025. This is actually October, just before Halloween. And we're planning out our next year. Yep.
It's kind of melded.
All of 2026. We're going to show you in this video what we're doing. Hey everybody, welcome to Tigner Adventures. We are here in Riverton, Utah. So that's just south of Salt Lake City. You can see the Wasatch Front right behind us. That's those mountains back there. You can see we did get a bunch of snow and then it kind of melted off. So we're not quite cold enough for snow yet. But if you didn't know, the Wasatch Mountains is actually part of the Rocky Mountain range. So we are right on the edge of the Rocky Mountains. And there's a lot of ski resorts back behind us, back up in there. We used to ski a lot. Used to have a lot of fun doing that kind of stuff. It is a windy day today, and it's gonna be that way for a while. So it's just kind of that time of year. The storms are starting to come through. So anyway, but you guys you wanted to see what we're doing this year. And so we're going to show you. Now, there's a little bit to this whole thing because anytime you're getting ready for, especially this magnitude of a trip, there's lots of things we got to get done, and we have been spending 4 weeks here in Utah just working on things and getting stuff done. So I'm going to show you a couple things here, just kind of give you an idea what we're doing to get prepared and everything. And then we'll go on from there. But before I get started, I wanted to pose the question to you, what are you guys doing? Because, you know, it's fun for us to figure out things and stuff like that, but when you start looking at this trip, is there things that you suggest that we do along the trip that we're doing? What are you planning to do yourself? Make some comments below. Tell us what's going on. If you can, give us a like for this video. We are full-time RV living, and we are starting into our 9th year of full-time RV living. That means that we sold everything. We actually sold everything about, it's 11 years ago?
At least 12.
Yeah, we had a house that was over 5,000 square feet. It was over 7 bedrooms, half acre of ground. That's all we did.
Lot of work.
That's all we did. When the kids graduated and they were all leaving, they did not want to do it anymore. So in other words, my slave labor has left.
Yes.
And it was time to sell it all and do something different. We didn't plan on this, but we just ended up doing this.
We have not missed it at all, and we have had so much fun.
Yeah.
Still feel like we're just starting. So we're going to have a different year this year. We're going to travel year-round instead of being stationary for the winter in Yuma, so which we will miss all our wonderful friends there. We're going to go down and visit, go to the dentist.
We're only going to be in Yuma 3 weeks.
Yeah, and go to the doctor, and then we're going to head to Florida this year.
Yeah. So when we get into the actual map that I'll show you here in a minute after we get started, I'll kind of break down some of our expenses that we expect. Because we just did that in our last video. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, check out right here, because that was how much our expenses were last year and our previous year. So going forward, we're hoping that we can get those expenses down a little bit. Remember, we bought this unit and we've been doing a lot of remodeling and things on it.
In 1 year. Yep.
Everything in 1 year. So it's really made our expenses really expensive to start with. But let's check out what we have to do to get started for this trip. So now again, we are full-time. So it's not like we have been sitting around doing nothing and then we're going to go on a trip. We're actually been planning this for quite a while, and we try to figure out where we're going to be doing, where we can do our repairs and things like that need to be done, because most times you can't do anything in an RV park. And so when we get to Salt Lake City and we're staying with family and friends, it's a great place for us to be able to do different repairs and things. And my brother-in-law's got a lot of tools that make the job a lot easier in a lot of ways too. If we look right here, you can see that the things that we need to do here basically in Salt Lake City is 3 things mainly. Okay, we got to fix our drive line. So if you recall, we have an issue with the U-joint slipping around in the yoke on the transmission. So we got to fix that. The next thing is our step is rusted out. So when you step down, it kind of, the middle of it feels like you're going to go through it. We need to get that fixed. And then the last thing we need to do is replace our toilet. That's a little easier here because he's got some air tools that makes it easy for us to cut off the pipe and things like that, because you'll see we've got to do some extra things there. So let's start off. First of all, I just wanted to give you an update on when we first started noticing this problem. We did this video here and we talked about how we jury rigged it, I should say, I guess, to work to get us to some place where we could get the part, because it took a couple weeks to order the part, and then we have to get the part put in and things like that. So we talked about it here. We used some the super glue composite to actually mount the U-joint in the place that it's supposed to be, so it wouldn't slide around as we were driving. And then we went ahead and ordered the part so that when we got to Salt Lake City, it would be here. And I picked up that part, and I also picked up some filters and things because we did a complete transmission oil change also. If you look right here, I've pulled the piece of the axle out, and I've also removed the yoke off the transmission. And this is a picture of the yoke that I ordered. Is on the left-hand side, and the yoke that was in the transmission was on the right side. You can see the little nubs that are on the top and bottom there, how much skinnier they are on the old yoke compared to the new yoke. So when I put the U-joint in there, it's nice and tight on the new one. On the old one, it would slide back and forth. There was about an 1/8 inch of play there. And so anyway, I took off the parts that I needed to, which is just this little circle piece. This is the mounting thing that kind of holds it on there. It doesn't press on and off, it just slides on, and then this holds it into place. So there's a little kit you buy that has some O-rings and things like that, but I did need to press this centerpiece out and then put these new bolts and things in there, and that goes into that piece, and that goes ahead and bolts onto the transmission. So that's these extra holes here on the transmission is where it actually bolts into place. So then I also wanted to replace the U-joint because, you know, it may have been damaged and things like that. So I put a whole brand new U-joint on this one portion here, and then I've mounted the axle back together again and put that in there. So now we have a brand new drive line here set up, so it works really nice. The next thing I had to do is we went ahead and replaced the, put a piece of metal over the top of the steps here and welded that on there. So I didn't take pictures of those steps there, you know, doing the process, but this is what I did. So that's working really nice. And then the last thing that we wanted to do was get the toilet replaced. So if you look at this toilet, it's had this area right here that was all built up. And I think that's because the toilet was kind of a short toilet, and they wanted it to be a little higher, and so they had someone, you know, build this all up, and it was just kind of a Mickey Mouse mess. They carpeted around here and everything, which doesn't work well in a bathroom anyway. And so we took that all out, and we now mounted this new Dometic 310 toilet. It's porcelain bowl, tiled the floor where that other wood was built up, tore all that out, you know, cut the pipe down, and was able to get this new toilet all inserted in here, and it's really nice. So Ninette is excited about having that change done for sure. And we still have a list of things that need to be done, but you know, we can do a lot of that on the road because it's just little things inside or even outside that doesn't make any difference if you're doing that at an RV park or not. So we'll do those things. That we got a lot of woodworking to do when we get to Yuma, things that we're going to build into our remodel it. You know, we need a pantry right back here for her food and things like that. So we're going to be doing that when we're in Yuma. But here is our map. This is going to be our travels for this next year. Again, we are using the software Trip Wizard from RV Life to map out our trip and manage everything. You know, RV Life is great for, you know, maintaining your trip, and you're mapping your trip and everything based on RV safe routes, and that's what we're using here. So it bases our route on your height, weight, and length of our rig, which is a 38-foot diesel pusher. It's just over 12 feet high, So there's certain places that you can't go. And then plus we're carrying propane. So we want to make sure that, especially when we're back east, that we don't run into issues where, you know, we can't go, like in Maryland, you can't go through the tunnels with propane. So, you know, this works out really nice. If you look right here, we do have this barcode here that you can scan so that you can follow our trip along. It will take you to our website right here. And this website, up in the top right corner there is this little green bubble that you can click on. That'll bring up our map of where we're going and everything. So you can follow us as we're going through our trip. So this is a complete list of where we're going, and it's just over 14,000 miles. On the left here, as you can arrow down and you can see exactly the dates that we're going to be in different areas of the country. Meaning, if we're going to be by you and you'd like to meet us and things like that, we'd love to meet up for coffee or something like that if we can. So just reach out to us on our website at the bottom there. It shows a couple ways for you to get a hold of us. But the best thing to do is just send us an email at tigneradventures.com. And so that takes you out and shows you kind of what's going on, and you know, makes it a little easier for you to follow us and maybe even give us some suggestions again on, you know, places we can go or maybe places we should avoid that when you're looking at this map. So now I want to go into kind of our estimation on our expenses. Remember last video we talked about what our expenses have been the last couple of years. We're expecting those to be a lot less this year because hopefully we won't have some of the repairs that we had to do. But if we look here, our total trip is going to be 14,361 miles. That's again an estimate, because with this software we can add and delete things as much as we want, so that works out really nice. But we're basically figuring that we'll be out camping for 340 nights for this particular trip. And 47 of those will be with family and friends, so that's not going to cost us anything. 35 of them will be different boondocking spots, you know, that's like rest areas and, you know, different parking lots and things that we can actually park in. So there's 35 of those. We're going to be staying at 28 RV parks, specifically that are just RV parks themselves. And I figure that will cost us around $655 to stay there. So that breaks down to about $23.39 per night is what those parks are going to cost us. Now, some of those are Cracker Barrels, and I'm calculating about $25 that we would spend to eat at Cracker Barrel. So that's where some of those costs come in there. And so that may drop the price down a little bit compared to, because some of them, most of the parks we're staying in are like $50 a night. So anyway, but then our biggest thing will be our 230 nights at Thousand Trails. So if you remember, we talked about right here, you know, purchasing Thousand Trails, and one of the reasons we did was for this particular reason. So 230 nights, we're just going from Thousand Trails to Thousand Trails. Part of this is down in the Keys of Florida. We basically pay a certain amount per month, so 200 and something a month for a payment for the plan that we purchased. And we had a little bit that was down. We covered all in our last video that we talked about. But if I take all those expenses for Thousand Trails, when you're staying at the Keys, they call these premium type resorts, so they charge an extra $20 per night. So I've added all those fees in for the time we're going to be staying around in those particular type resorts, and it comes out to $38.35. And so if I divide that out over our 230 nights of staying in Thousand Trails throughout this trip, we're at $16.68 a night for our camping. So that's pretty decent. That works out really nice. We're pretty happy with that. In comparison, if we did not have Thousand Trails, and again, you know, we're staying at just RV parks in general, and this was, you know, based on this $23.39 that we've averaged out here, which isn't really realistic. You know, you typically can't find an RV park for $23 a night. But even if we only spent $23 a night, that still comes out to well over $5,000 that we would end up having to spend on RV places, you know. And so that is, you know, a little over $1,500 extra that we would spend, and this is pretty conservative. So that's kind of the breakdown of our map this year, where we're going, what we're doing, and what our costs are, you know, estimated to be. This doesn't estimate the gas that, or the fuel that we're going to be using. But this gives us a start on what's going on. At the end of this whole thing next September, so a year from now, we'll do another overall, kind of compare this and see how this worked out as far as camping totals. We expect our fuel cost to basically be the same, basically about 9.5 miles per gallon. Well, so there you have it. That's going to be our trip. Now, if you recall, on our last video, we were showing out, where we went and everything. We didn't go as far as we did the prior year. This next year will be about the same amount of miles. We're over 14,000 miles again, but this time it's for a whole year, not just 7 months. But last year, even though we didn't go a long ways,
we had a lot of fun, and we visited a lot of wonderful friends that we've made.
Yeah, and we're going to
want to thank them for letting us come and visit them.
That was a lot of fun.
That's our high points.
And if you noticed on the end of this trip, we're kind of working our way back up into the northwest area again and down back into California a little bit. So we'll be seeing some of those friends again. So that's what's so cool about this lifestyle, is we can kind of choose and pick what we do. And one thing I should say, we showed you what we're doing next year. That is a whole year. The expenses, we've showed you all that, what we're expecting. Nothing's written in stone. I mean, we have reservations everywhere, and we are staying at a lot of Thousand Trails. But one of the cool things about Thousand Trails is we can change those reservations anytime we want. And so that's kind of nice too. So, I think we have at least we have a plan. A lot of people don't know, and maybe you're not for sure either. Remember, we want you to put some comments in the comments down there what you're planning to do. Have you even started planning? This is what? This is October. We're actually leaving here at the end of this week. This next week we're going to be starting our trip. You guys probably aren't going to necessarily be starting so soon. So maybe you haven't even thought about what you're going to do this year. So, but anyway, let us know what you think. You know what our map's going to be now? Is there places that we should see? I mean,
if you're in one of those states, invite us for a coffee. Let's visit.
Yeah, let's meet you guys. And
if you want.
we're going back, and we're seeing a lot of friends that we've met over the last couple years. So it is so much fun to meet you guys, to see what comments you have, what places you suggest we go to or avoid. Whatever the case may be, just let us know. But thanks a lot for watching this video. We hope to see you down the road somewhere, and if not, then on our next video, which is going to be talking about Halloween.
We are?
Yeah. We've been visiting all these cool little places. People put a lot of time and effort into Halloween, so we're going to talk about that. So see you guys later.
Bye.